All right, guys, welcome back. Today we're going to do a one-shot Wolverine Bloodlust by Alan Davis and Paul Neary. This is 48 pages around that, and it's great. Let's dive in. So, somewhere around about the Canadian mountains, this guy is dead, killed by something with claws, and then we go to Wolverine. And he looks at it and reminds him, instead of glass, about blood and ice. He has a memory, a man that he slaughtered. And I said he must be hallucinating, and he has that image in his mind because he accidentally, or maybe, no, I believe accidentally, broke his beer bottle. And then a woman comes to help him. He says, "Bad cuts." And he says they'll heal in no time. But then, of course, the locals are not happy with it, and they try to harass him. And I like this old school Wolverine haircut. Not sure why they don't do this anymore. I mean, this is iconic, right? This is how I remember him. And of course, Wolverine. Everything, mostly where Wolverine is going, there's some fight breaking out. So yeah, bar fights, and then this guy is charging him, and he sidesteps, and But then something happens to him. There's an emotion stirring in him, and he wants to kill him, but then he remains controlled. But then the bar people see that, and he's calling him a psycho. So the woman or girl is saying, "Hey, let's get out of here. You're a little bit drunk, right?" And there's something wrong with him. Here's some buzzing in his hair. He's not all there. And of course he says, "Hey, why don't we go to my place? And my name is Saskia, Sassy for friends, right?" And yeah, and she's clearly into it. I don't know. Maybe it's his animalistic demeanor, or I don't know. Maybe it's charisma. I don't know what women are attracted to him. But then he senses something. No sense, no sound, and he's going a little bit crazy. Rage building. I pop my claws, and then I see shapes concealing in the mist. I hear a roar. It's mine, joining with theirs. And then he's getting attacked by these creatures that a little bit look like him. And yeah, he's. I mean, let the art do the talking. I like visual storytelling, and he's going completely, well, berserk, if I may. And he kills a lot of creatures, but that he's out of it. He's just swinging and swinging, and he killed around 5 of them, and then he feels weak, and his healing factor is kicking in, and but he still feels that buzzing in his head, right? And then he noticed that the girl has been kidnapped, and he needs to drown these noises out of his head. So he's need to be calm, analyze the situation, using, I don't know, yoga, I guess. He says, "The creatures, why are they here? Where are they from?" He says, "They got the girl, and it's my fault." Alan Davis's art is fantastic. So we see classic Wolverine. I like his costume. I like his original costume a little bit more, the very first one. But this is probably the best. Although I like the one, the yellow and blue one also. But this is another iconic. Anyway, there's a snowflake falling on these bodies of these creatures, and they are fire erupts. But then I don't know, Wolverine is acting weird about it, and he is going into frenzy mode again. Meanwhile, the cops coming to investigate what happened at the bar. So these cops say, "Hey, I don't know what you are doing here, but I'm going to investigate. You stay out of it." And but then the townspeople say, "Hey, there is a body. This guy, right?" So they say, "Hey, we need to avenge our friend," and they are suspecting Wolverine, right? Because he's acting like a weirdo and a crazy psycho, and they want to get him. Meanwhile, in this, I don't know, cabinet, I guess, creatures coming in and killing this whole family, including these children. Oh man, you don't see this much in comics anymore. Too sensitive for some readers, I guess. Anyway, Wolverine feels all of that. He feels the thrill of the kill, the screaming, and he thinks he did it. So he pops his claw because he thinks there is blood on it, because he's responsible. But the claws are clean. The relief hits me, he says. I begin to understand. I'm picking up what the creatures are doing. It's got to be telepathy. Behind me, it's them, and I'm going to kill every damn blasted one of them. But then, he's being blasted away. A creature gestures, and I'm a leaf, floating to the floor on the warm sunny afternoon. I slowly fall to earth. The warm glow turns to flame. The fire isn't painful. It's soothing, taking away my rage. My claws retract. I feel cleansed, tranquil. And then, it's my mutant healing factor. I can see it work, healing my wounds. When I look up, I'm in Wonderland. Every part of the landscape glows with its own vibrant life energy. The sky shimmers and sparkles overhead, and beneath the ground, dormant life pulsing, ready to erupt in spring. And me, I'm part of it all. I knew this must exist. At times I thought I was near to glimpsing it. But how could I known it would be this magnificent? Suddenly I wonder, how do I get there? So these creatures calling themselves Nuri say, you have invited to witness Alshra, the spirit plane. So then we see the origin. They have existed for thousands of years, and they are communicating with the Earth Mother, revealed the secrets of her life energies. But then the world of man is trying to invade their space, and they are going to Siberian countries where the barbarians could not survive. They transform into something else using their earth energy. And then we tunneled beneath the snow and sculpted the living ice. We nurtured new species of plants in the glow of the phosphorescent, I'm not sure, minerals under the ice. We made utopia. And then doing this, what the Eternals are all doing, communicating. They are in total peace, and they are also using their mental energies to explore space, I guess, right? We felt no need for competition or individuality. Meanwhile, on Earth, the barbarians had come of age. They had advanced from killing each other to killing the world. They call it progress, but progress towards what? We wandered across the Arctic wastes without shelter or food. We grew sick and began to die. Most accepted their fate with dignity. Well, there were those who did not. Some of them broke away. Renegades who set out to attack, to murder, to break an ages-old taboo. They feasted upon flesh, human flesh, unleashing forces beyond their reckoning, beyond their understanding. Dark forces, evil forces, massively increasing their mystic power but totally corrupting their doomed souls. Consumed by bloodlust, they fled in search of more victims. Prey on isolated communities, their power increased with each kill. And then they are now in Canada. So these creatures, what's her name again? Nuri, cannot do nothing because they will become like them. So they're asking Wolverine to step in, right? Helping them since he has, already killed them. He says, your mind is resonating with the rebels' consciousness through the meaning of the Alshra. And it sees that the rebels are draining the energy from the Alshra, from the spirit world. The Alshra itself is under threat. So why should my mind resonate with the rebels' consciousness instead of yours? That ain't flattering. So he says that's because of his metal skeleton. It's basically disrupting his flow, and without it, he would probably become part of the spirit world. But the healing factor is try to reject his skeleton, but it's now so much of a part of him. He is basically try to in conflict, and he's not able to achieve harmony. You are only here because we will it. And then, so yeah, Wolverine doesn't like that, because he wants to be part of that spirit world, right? It's part of his being. He says, I'm back. It's grim and dull. The only faint echo of Alshra that remains is the peace and serenity of the creatures himself. Then static, a tidal wave of it, worse than before. So the leader of Nuri is saying, hey, I'm coming with you, and we're going to travel together to get the other ones. He's like a ghost, no scent, no sound. I'm running full tilt and he ain't even breaking a sweat. He's gliding over the snow, hardly leaving a ripple in the air. I'll be impressed if I didn't give me the jitters. The cabin, exactly as I remember it. Do not go, there's no time, the rebels are near, but he cannot help themselves. He must go in for his own insanity. I killed in battle, man to man, but this is something different. I knew the danger of the berserker rages, that what might happen if I completely lost control. They made me feel it, enjoy it. But you did not do it. But I felt like I did. Can't you understand? It's part of my memory, it's part of me. I'm gonna make them pay, gonna kill. So he's again overtaken by rage, and that's because of the rebels, that's messing with his mind. Meanwhile, the townfolk is getting attacked by the rest of the, corrupt Nuri, and they are everywhere. It says werewolves. But then Wolverine comes in and, attacks the rebels, but he's being overwhelmed by them. But Wolverine, too feral, too strong, and he's following them, killing them, right? But then one of them is hurt. He says, please, you must help me. The cripple will slow us down. Leave him. But then the leader of the Nuri comes in, heals them, but these people are too afraid. They don't know what's happening, and they cannot comprehend what this Nuri is and what it's trying to tell him. And in their doing, they are fleeing because, fear. And the Nuri is, glad that he is now going as well. And he says, thank the Earth Mother that true spirits such as Logan transcend such barbarity. But Logan, he's too far gone. He's completely berserker raged. And he's killing and killing and killing until no one is standing and only he is left. But his body is too damaged. And even his healing factor cannot help them. And then his mind goes to Mariko, his only true love. Yes, I said it. I think Mariko is his only true love. Not Jean Grey, but Mariko. As you might know, he lost her as well in other comics. But then the leader of the Nuri comes and using his magic to heal Logan and regenerate, including his costume. And Logan says, neat. We must be swift. Although the elemental purity of the snow eradicates the remains of the demon rebels, still one of their numbers survive. Logan feels that. The last is more cunning and devious than his brethren. He has inherited their power combined, but it's not enough to challenge you. He hungers for your indomitable spirit, but fears your strength, and has gone in search of easier prey. But then the townsfolk is attacked by that one rebel. Logan feels that. And the Nuri says, resist him. So Moose, the big guys, charging him just like in the bar, but then his throat has been slashed. And Logan says, feels good. No, it ain't me killing, it's the renegade. This one is warm and soft as I reach it in and pull out his heart. He says, no, kill. Feel power growing as I drain their souls. So we must hurry. The demonic powers of the renegade challenge the natural order. Time close near. And the renegade is growing in power. And then a landslide, or a snowslide, is that how you say it? Chaos reigns. Logan, he is completely gone feral. He says, and then he hears a voice, I have freed his animal nature from the restriction of civilized discipline. He is mine. And so too is the power of the Alshra. Observe the energy you revere and worship is my plaything. Join me, brother, and together we will creation. But he says, no, I will do not. But then they battle each other through magic. Logan is being pushed away by the magic of the rebel. And we see a battle with the power of Mother Earth, I guess, on earthly energies, right? But the renegade is too strong. He says, I cannot lose. I am power. The group mind will support me. We shall see. But defenses are shattered. The renegade says, your powers are nothing to me. Now you die. But then Logan comes in and the rebel needs to, use his power to, fend off Logan. And Logan almost comes in. I push forward, try to fight, but I feel the renegade's mind touch mine. Vile thoughts warm into my brain and feed the darkness I try to suppress. But then he needs to battle on both fronts. The Neri realized that, and he is doing a desperate move. He unleashes all his magical energies and shatters the defenses of the renegade. Well, Logan comes in for the kill, but before he can go in, it fight back. Desperate, it's gone, and the Neri leader is lying there. We have changed places, old man, but I don't have the power to help you. I am beyond help. My mortal frame was too frail to build the full power of the group mind. You must wait for the other Nuri to arrive before you pursue the renegade. He is too strong for you fight alone. My life experience has been enriched in knowing you. Goodbye, friend Logan. His body goes limp. A faint ripple of warmth pulses outward. His spirit passes on. His body crumbles to dust. I feel empty, he says. The wind scatters his ashes, and it's like he never was, except I remember him as long as I live, which may not be too much longer. The guy was right. I'm no match for the renegade, but I got more chance while he's hurt and weak. There may be no stopping him if he has time to recover. So he finds a shelter and he goes in and he feels the tendrils of the renegade try to worm in his mind again, you know. The static is still screwing up my senses, he says. Human bones. Light from above, water dripping, ignore, concentrate. And then he feels something, and then it's Saskia. Saskia is crying, and she wants to get out, and she begs Logan for help. But Logan, is still confused because he feels something all around it. He feels the renegade, but he cannot locate it. Gotta filter the sounds. Damn static fills in my head. Sif sense, gotta be a trace. Getting closer, no sense. He turns around and then pushes his arm into the chest of Saskia. What happens then? The girl had no sense. I ignored it earlier, figuring the static was clouding my senses, and when I could smell the 3-year-old bear's spore, I knew she had to be the creature. The Saskia form was just bait victims, careless. I thought I killed it. Need convincing. It's getting bigger. Metamorphosing. No, the static stopped. My mind's clear. I can think. So it is dead, or as good as it's trying to take me with it. No chance. It's lost all physical coherence. All the power it absorbed, swelling it, ready to explode. Looks fantastic. Logan closes in. I could run for cover, but I remember the victims. 2 infants, innocent eyes filled with terror. I remember the slaughter, the pleasure I shared through the renegade's senses. It's my memory now, my shame. I feel the agony in the creature's psychic scream, and I laugh, energy churning out of control. Go before I get out before it blows. Damn, got carried away. So the cave is crashing in, and Logan is under, but he has the power to claw in out. Didn't think I'm gonna make it. Could use a beer or 10. I hung in there for too long, just to inflict pain of the sucker. I could have been crushed or buried alive. It was worth it, he says with a smile on his face. Then the rest of the Nuri comes, and he thanks them, for what he has done. You were virgin of a tragedy, friend Logan. We thank you. We have healed the disharmony in the Ashra. All it is as it was. We must now return to our homeland. That's suicide. Stay here in Canada. It's a big country. No, the earth has grown small and the blight of mankind consumes it. Confrontation with humans would be inevitable. Destiny cannot be denied. I want to argue, to say they just can't give up. They have achieved so much knowledge, so much power. Maybe accepting destiny takes more strength than I have. The Nuri said I could be like them, but the adamantium bones and my claws, adamantium bones and claws. Tempting idea, the beauty of the Alshra and the mind that could soar among the stars, but I ain't so sure. I'm a fighting man, and the way I see it, this is worth fighting for. Anyway, I could get really dull floating around the cosmos without a beer. And that's the end. What a comic! What a freaking awesome comic. Another 90s awesome classic. Well, not sure if it's a classic, but it's a very good book. Anyway, I have nothing to add. This is a banger. This is great, great art. The story is, it took me all the way to the end. I was so invested, and yeah, I like all these different parts. That basically Logan could achieve nirvana, if you will, if not for those damn bones in his body. But hey, that is Logan who he is. He's forever a loner. Guys, let me know in the comments what you think about this. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.